Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Storm the Court podcast. I'm your host, Zane Ellis, and today we're diving into the age-old debate. Do fans overstate the chances of lower-seeded teams making a playoff run? Spoiler alert, it's a classic case of hope versus reality in the NBA. So here's the deal. We've seen throughout NBA history that lower seeds, specifically those 4 to 8 seeds, have only managed to snag 2 championships. One in 1969 and the other in 1995. And honestly, who can forget that 95 Rockets team? They were a 6 seed, sure, but with Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler, they played like a top seed by the time the postseason hit. They weren't your average 6 seed. They were a different beast entirely. Now, let's talk about this notion of coasting. A Reddit commenter made a great point about the 2018 Warriors. The core 4 of Steph, Klay, Draymond, and even KD. Yeah, they were cruising a bit during the regular season because they knew they could flip the switch. They ended up with 58 wins. Nice. But you get the sense they weren't pushing full throttle. And you've got to acknowledge that, right? Coasting means your team's got a certain confidence, but it doesn't automatically equate to lower seeds being contenders. No one's coasting down in that 7 to 10 bracket. They're fighting tooth and nail just to get a shot at the playoff glory. What's really fascinating here is how we've entered this era of parity in the league. There's a solid argument that the depth of talent we're seeing now is making it a little easier for lower seeds to sneak in. Just look at Miami's run from the play-in last season. That was insane. But still, when push comes to shove, we've got a good idea of who the heavyweights are. Injuries are the wild cards, like last season, remember? Those injury-riddled Suns and the Mavericks that ended up with a lower seed but showed up when it mattered. And speaking of which, the play-in tournament has really shaken things up, hasn't it? Some fans may argue it's just a money grab, but hey, it gives teams a fighting chance. More basketball, more drama. But do I think the likes of Golden State or the Lakers, despite being lower seeds, are true contenders? Yes, but with some major caveats. It all comes down to ironing out consistency. If they get hot, watch out. Now, let's wrap this up. Look, at the end of the day, lower seeds might pull off a series or two, maybe even make a run every now and then. But winning the whole thing? That's another story altogether. My hot take? As thrilling as this current season appears, the championship will almost definitely come down to those top 3 seeds in each conference. The gap is still just too wide. We'll be back soon with more hot takes and deep dives into the NBA, so stay tuned, folks.